In this video, we will discuss about joint stock company. Company is an artificial person created by law, having perpetual succession, separate legal entity, and a common seal. Company is an artificial person created by law, having separate legal entity, perpetual succession, and a common seal. Now, why there is this definition? The most important thing in this definition is the three things which I have just told you just now. That is the common seal, separate legal entity, and perpetual succession. Perpetual succession, that is, it will continue to exist when even if members are coming or joining the company or leaving the company will continue to exist because it will not affect the existence of the company. Means its continuity will be maintained whether the members are coming or going out of the business. It will not affect the company. So that is why it is known as perpetual succession. Next, the common seal. As we know, company is an artificial person. So just we people can put our signature. Suppose I am writing, this is my signature. So I can put my signature, but company is an artificial person. It cannot put a signature on any papers or documents. So for this, a common seal, a seal is created. A seal is created, which is known as a common seal, and whichever documents on which the documents on which the company's seal is not there, it will not be considered as company document. Means for every document to be valid, considered as a company a document of the company, the common seal of the company should be there. Then the third one was the separate entity, separate legal entity. Three things were the perpetual succession. Perpetual succession. That is, we have discussed again common seal, and third is the separate legal entity. Separate legal entity. Separate legal entity. This we have discussed, that is the perpetual succession. Its continuity will be maintained even if the members are coming or going out of the company. It will not affect the existence of the company. It will continue. And next was the common seal. That is the, just like I can put my signature there on whichever document I want to miss. Suppose I want to purchase something, some land, building, plant and machinery. So on the purchasing, I can put my signature, that I can verify that it can be verified that it is my signature and I am the owner of this particular property or the land or building, whatever it is. So I can put my signature. The company is an artificial person. It cannot put its signature on any document. For this, the company's seal is there, and whichever document contains the company's seal, it will be considered as valid document of the company. Third was the separate legal entity. As just now I have told you, company is an artificial association of person. It is an association of person having separate legal entity. Since it is an association of person created by law, so it can be closed down by law only. It is created through law. That is, it is known as a legal entity, and it is separate. And separate in the sense, it is separate from the owner. The company is separate from the owner. The owners, the members of a company may come, some members may join, few members may be going out of the business also, leaving the business also. It will not affect the company. So company has separate existence. Even if all the members are not there, even if not a single members are there, all of them are there, still the company will continue to exist, and it has to be closed down. That is a different thing, but it will continue to exist, and separate procedure for closing of the company will be carried out. That is binding of the company. It is closing of the company, is also known as binding of the company. That will be done, and it will be done separately. Means the members will not affect, means it has a separate entity. Moreover, separate entity in the sense, the cases can be filed not against the members but against the company. If someone want to file cases against the company, so it does not mean that the members, those who are filing the case, are filing the case against the, you can say, the members or the shareholders. It is not so. Actually, if you file a case against the company, means you are filing case against the company, not the owner of the company. So company have a separate existence from that, separate from the owner. That is why it is known as separate legal entity. The company can own property. The company's property does not account to the owner's property. Owner is different and the company is a different person. Owner is a different person, company is completely a different person. That is why it is known as separate legal entity also. These are the three main important points which are you can say discussed, which we have discussed in the definition of the company. And now first let us come to the features. What are the features of the company? Features. Now just I have told you that features, the definition, from the definition itself, the 3 points which we have discussed, these are all actually the features of the company also. That company has perpetual succession, it has common seal, it has a separate legal entity. These are part of the features also. All the 3 points can be considered as features of the company. Beside the features, beside these 3, some more features we will discuss. These are, let us see. Artificial person. Just now I told you that company is an association of person created by law. Company is an association of person created by law, and it has a separate legal entity. Separate entity. So it is an artificial person. Company is a person, but it is an artificial person. Company, because we as a natural person can eat, drink, sleep, walk, talk, all these things we can do. But a company cannot eat, company cannot drink, company cannot sleep. These are the things which company does not have. But since we can own property, we can sell property. The company can also own property. The company can also sell the properties also. The companies can file cases against others. Others can also file case against the company. We can also file case against others. Others can also file case against us. Similarly, these are similar. Some common things are there regarding a person. So company is also considered as a person, but it is an artificial person since it cannot eat, it cannot sleep, it cannot drink, it cannot walk, it cannot talk, but we can do. We are natural person, but company is an artificial person. So this is one of the features. These are all the features. Besides, these are the important things which are contained in the meaning of a company. That is, if you discuss the meaning of the company, these are the important things which are, and it will be part of the features. Besides the features, one more is the artificial person. More features are there. Let us discuss more. Now, control. The control of the company lies in the hand of the control of the company lies in the hand of the shareholder. That is directly, not directly, but indirectly. But actually the control of the company lies in the, you can say, the board of directors. Board of directors. These board of directors, you can say, the members select the board of directors. The members select the board of directors, and these board of directors actually run the company. They look after the, you can say, functioning of the company, and indirectly the board of directors are controlled by the shareholders or members of the company. So truly speaking, the control of the company lies in the board of directors and indirectly in the hands of the shareholders or the members of the company. Next, risk bearing. Risk bearing. Who bear the risk in case of a company? Obviously, the owners will bear the risk. As we know, if the owners, just like in a sole proprietorship, partnership, or joint into family business, or whosoever is the owner of a business, obviously if the loss is there, the owner has to suffer the loss. Similarly, in case of a company also, there is risk is also there. Who will bear the risk? Risk bearing is shared. In case of a sole proprietorship, only one person shares the risk. In case of partnership business, few partners are there, they will be sharing the risk. But in case of a company, there are a large number of members are there, that is, large number of shareholders are there, and they bear the risk. One more thing is regarding risk is there. In case of sole proprietorship and partnership, in case of companies form of organization, the risk, in case of joint into family business type of business, the risk is limited to some members. All the members, you can say, a partnership, sole proprietorship, unlimited liability is there. Partnership, unlimited liability. Joint stock company, there is limited liability. And in case of joint Hindu family business, there is again unlimited liability for the karta only. Other persons, other co-partners, that is other members, have limited liability. Similarly, in case of a company also, the risk is borne by the shareholders, but this risk is limited. The risk is limited to the amount of the you can say, to the extent of the unpaid amount of the shares which are held by the members. The risk is borne by the shareholder, but the liability of the member is only to the extent of the unpaid amount of the shares which are held by them. So this is the regarding this here. Now there is formation of the company. You can say also formation. How the companies are formed? The formation of the company is done according to the Companies Act 2013. The formation of the companies is according to the Companies Act 2013. This is, and there are very, you can say there is a lengthy process. The formation of the company is a lengthy process, and moreover it is expensive process. Too many legal, you can say, documents are to be prepared, and the company have to get incorporated. Once the incorporation is done, when the incorporation certificate is issued by the registrar of the company, then the company comes into being, or the formation of the company is considered, or the, you can say, birth of the company is considered from the time the certificate of incorporation is issued by the registrar of the company. Means the formation of the company, the promoters or whosoever forms the company, they have to, you can say, submit application to the registrar of the company along with all the required documents, and after that the registrar of the company issues the certificate of incorporation, and that certificate of incorporation is, you can say, considered as the birth of the company or formation of the company. The date on which it is issued, the certificate of incorporation issued, that is considered as the date of birth of the company. And companies are formed in India according to the Companies Act 2013, or the existing company can have any other law in force. Whichever company has been formed before 2013, they will also have, means they must have also formed according to the previous company's law, which was active, which was, you can say, which was applicable at that time. Say Companies Act 1956 also, or after that also, if any Companies Act have been introduced or amendment has been done, if the companies are formed according to the previous Companies Act also, it will be also considered as a company also.